Fuck me. We need tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. I'm your host, Gabe, and I'm joined with Tanner.
Howdy.
And Tommy.
Dios mío.
How was everyone's weekend?
Pretty good. How was yours?
Yeah.
What did I do this weekend? Oh, wait. Because we're recording in reverse. I just got back from Sedona. I haven't gone there, but I will.
Yes.
I'll be back by the time this is out.
Boy, I sure hope he comes back.
Right.
You're going hiking. Oh, I'm the only one that's going to be here on Sunday.
Well, I'm not going to be gone for a long time on Sunday, but yeah.
Oh, no, I have brunch.
Yeah, take care of the puppers.
Yeah. But welcome everybody. So we'll give you a small Astroworld update, and then we'll go into the normal podcast. So, what do you guys know about Travis Scott?
I know another person was declared dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 9 people now?
Yeah, so technically, well, I don't know what the official number is, but with that extra person, it would be 9 based off the official number from when it happened. Yeah. But I've heard of 11 too. Because people are like brain dead, and that's pretty much, you're not coming back.
Oh,
so
that sucks.
I've heard the number 11, but I just looked right before our recording, and so today's date is, Tanner?
18th. November 18th.
Thank you.
I have a computer in front of me with the date, and you asked Tanner.
I was like, you went to work. You're the only one that wrote the date today.
I know, Dave.
No, you know what he was? He looked at Tanner, and he looked at you and goes, he's the only one that's not high. Tanner. He's like, Tommy's going to say some dumb fucking number.
So as of the 18th, this is officially like 10 people have died.
Oh, shit.
And
10?
10 people. Yeah, so a whole number
So two
higher.
new deaths then.
Yeah, since last you heard.
That sucks.
And last I heard, yeah, because mine count was at 9.
9 as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know I've heard of more lawsuits coming in.
Yes.
Has he been sentenced or anything?
Nope, nothing about that so far, but a fun fact. So,
I love fun facts.
They better be fun.
He has lawsuits, and so,
Or as the Chinese would
ago-
say, lawsuits.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, what was it just saying? Oh,
He has lawsuits?
yeah, and the total amount hours ago was $750 million.
Wow.
Fuck.
As of minutes ago, it is $2 billion.
My boy needs to start
Wow.
sucking some Jeff Bezos dick, my guy.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
All the Kardashians and Jenners have all had like their PR statements put out, and people are not receiving it well. It's like really bad.
I can't imagine their statements are much better than Travis Scott's apology video.
His bullshit apology.
I
that
fucking
came
hate
out.
that family. I hate them. Like, you are a scab on America.
I respect Kanye for getting out of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
If you had a row of things to choose to respect, I would be one of those.
Yeah.
If I was picking and choosing. Also, the youngest was
10. What? Oh, no, there was a younger one who had
last
trauma.
time. So on the last,
There was like a toddler, right?
not a
Well, no,
toddler.
on the last
On the last
podcast-
podcast, I think it was 12 or 13,
Something
something like
around
No,
that.
but I thought we found a younger one.
So as of most recently,
Oh, yeah.
a 9-year-old, which is now the newest
9,
youngest,
yeah.
and his name is Ezra Blount.
And he died?
What's
I
that
can't
word?
read your handwriting.
Blount.
Blount?
Blount.
I don't know.
Okay, I pronounced it right. I was just making sure. It
Sounds
wasn't
like a
grab
noise
lab.
that Little John makes. Blount.
Blount.
This kid just died, Tom.
I'm sorry. You're right. I just.
No,
What am I supposed to do? I can't handle this shit well, dude. Fucking 9-year-old getting trampled at a Travis Scott concert. My brain's like, we're not going to connect those wires.
So
And probably the only reason that kid knew of Travis Scott was like through Fortnite or something. It's just terrible.
Fucking Fortnite has ruined America.
It has. You know, honestly, things went way downhill when
Dude,
Fortnite showed
no.
up.
Fucking Harambe. It started at Harambe, but continue, Gabe.
I agree about the gorilla.
Dude, I think that's where the simulation started getting fucked up because it realized we all freaked out over Harambe too much and it was like, this is fun. And then it was like, let's just keep doing dumb shit. And that's just everywhere.
I know. It's been awful. So
Dicks
the reason
out.
I brought him up and wrote his name down so I could remember to say it, because one, I don't feel as egotistical that I need to say all their names in like a solidarity thing, what everybody else does who has like a entity that's out there.
Do like a moment of silence.
Yeah,
I
look,
could do a
all
moment of
them.
silence for them.
Look,
but
we're sad that you perished because you shouldn't have. But
Yeah.
this is not, we're not going to fucking, like, what's it called?
I don't have anything to pander to.
Yeah,
so,
pandering. It's like, you're not going to get those good vibes. Like, you're already in a much better place. We're not.
They're also still counting people because, like Tommy, you said earlier, like people are like brain dead. So they're not done counting these people. There's a lot of people who were still in the hospital.
Yeah, over like
ventilators.
300 people got hurt.
So
right?
these two new deaths were it people? Was it people that like got injured and then died after the fact from their injuries, or how did that?
Yeah,
I would assume
that's
so.
That's
Yeah.
the assumption.
Gotcha.
No one has said otherwise.
Yeah, I don't think they were like finding more dead bodies or anything.
yeah.
I think that was cleared up the first night.
But so he went with his dad, and there seems to be a divide with this particular story, where people are blaming the dad for bringing the child to a Travis Scott concert, and people who are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I think I agree with the people who are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I
Yeah.
agree.
Because he has his deal with Fortnite children, and then with McDonald's he had a Travis
Scott meal.
meal,
Yeah.
and it was kind of designed as a child's meal.
Yeah.
But it had, there's definitely an invitation for him to, of all ages, come see him.
Yeah.
I think there's a caveat to that though, because like I've been to a couple of festivals and it's all like Astroworld. It's all standing. If you're a toddler, you can't see anything. So I've been to maybe like 2 festivals. I've been to like 20 concerts where it's like in stadiums with seatings and stuff. In those concert situations, there's a lot more kids there. And it's like dads and moms like taking their kids to see their favorite artist. That makes sense. A family with young children should avoid a festival.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I know on the last episode too, when we heard like the lower age ranks, we were like, "What are you doing there?" And I think at the time we thought they were alone. If you're there with a parent, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna dog on it that much because it means that there isn't a parent who let their like 9-year-old go to a fucking concert with like a big brother or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as Tanner said, I've been to a few music festivals and I've been to a few concerts. And the music festivals are always like anxiety town for me because it's all standing shit. And it's just a lot of people pushed together. I'm a big person.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
like a 10-year-old can't see anything and you
Yeah.
know they're tired of standing after
Well,
like 30 minutes.
yeah,
So like
and
what are
you
they going
see
to do?
them.
Sit down and get trampled?
Yeah, and you see them at festivals still every now and then. You just usually see them on their parents' shoulders.
Yeah.
They usually are on their dad's
Which
shoulders.
they could
Well,
not do at this
he's not
Astroworld
like
situation.
he's not child. He's basically a 10-year-old. If that's easier for you to. He's,
Well, yeah, but even a 10-year-old,
No, yeah,
dad will put a 10-year-old
saying-
on his back.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
At
what
a
I'm-
concert, yeah.
So I think like it's
like-
foreseeable to see him taking this child.
Yeah.
To me.
It's like, have you seen that video of the boyfriend? He's dating like a thick white girl, and she's up on his shoulders at a concert, and he's just like, like he's trying so hard. The burn is there, it's happening, and she's, and it's
He's
like,
doing it for love.
yeah. And the caption on it's like, "We're with you, brother. Stay strong. The night will be the reward."
That's funny.
I would hope so. Gee.
Yeah, I'm like, you better have gotten some because that is dedication, my man.
But yeah, so I don't know. It feels so strange. Like maybe it's how other people cope. Because like we make horrible jokes about inappropriate things in order to feel a bit better about the situation that's happening to us. Usually is our humor, I would say.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did I
Anyway.
tell you my nut's dead? Continue.
And
I missed it.
I don't know if these people just forget like this man's son died or why, but I wouldn't choose to say immediately when learning the news that this child died, go
Immediately
why the
criticize
fuck
him?
would his father
Yeah.
take him? You
You weren't there.
It's
You
none
don't
of your
know.
business.
Yeah.
But like this is news. Sorry, I told you is how I would feel if I told someone and that was their response.
Yeah. Music festivals should honestly have like a 14, 15, maybe even 16 up limit on them just because of how many fucking variables there are.
Well, they
Like,
usually do, but it's overridden if you're with an adult or a guardian, you know.
that is true, but I'm just talking like a hard a hard line, like, because when the music festivals I've been to, it's a fucking, there's drugs everywhere. There's alcohol fucking everywhere. People are spilling around each other and shit. You can't buy water for under like $15 fucking a cup. So your kid's gonna probably get dehydrated because they don't let you bring shit in. And it's like all this shit. So it's like I'm not gonna dog on someone for bringing their kid to a concert, because fucking right on, like, have fun, live life. But if you are a Travis Scott fan and you know, I mean, maybe the guy just didn't know how the concerts usually go, but it just seems like a semi-poor decision to make.
Yeah.
As a parent, you know, because music festivals can be so sketchy.
Yeah, true. But like I said, a lot of the concerts that I went to where I saw that there's like some dad who throughout the concerts on his phone goofing off while his girls are like losing their mind at the concert. He's there because they begged and begged and begged and begged, and he made it happen.
Yeah.
Like, so that probably happened a lot.
This is true.
In this situation. He just finally gave in, doesn't know what he's getting himself into, and took his kid to the thing.
Yeah, I agree. So the $2 billion is going to, I don't know how it's going to be split, because these are the four main people being sued, and it's Travis, Drake, Live Nation, and Apple Music, because they streamed it and didn't help, I assume is what they're going off of.
No, they were filming when the ambulance came in. They zoomed in on the ambulance. Like, they were like, what's that? And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, this person is like needing help and you're trying to get it on camera?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The way the world works, man.
It's so
you
fucking
see
dumb.
some shit go down, everyone pulls out their phone and records it.
So for the purpose of this podcast,
If you ever see me do that, please punch me in the throat.
Can I just punch you regardless?
No.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Then you would be my dad. No.
Oh, Jesus.
See what we mean about the humor.
For the purpose of this podcast, I went and looked, and I found a clip of the Apple Music feed. Was it Apple Music? Yeah, Apple Music feed. And within 4 minutes, you could tell like the crowd is too like squished, and they're just like doing this like wave thing.
And then you hear people screaming for help.
Yeah.
Oh,
And pointing at the cameras. And the cameras are zooming in on them, and they're having a good time.
Yeah, there is a person who I think it looks like she's trying to like get the camera's attention.
Yeah, because she's facing away from the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's waving her arms at the camera.
Like help.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. And okay, so I do want to bring up this. So do you remember we brought up the Ariana Grande thing? Ariana Grande, I think, set a new precedent for if this happens. If something like this happens. Yeah. And she didn't do it because it was her fault. She did it because something awful happened and she felt bad.
For context, we're talking about when her show at the O2, right? The O2 Arena?
Yeah, in France?
No, it was in England. Got suicide bombed, and a bunch of young teenage girls and younger girls all got fucking killed. Which still seems surreal to me. I don't think I've ever fully processed that event, because it's nuts to me that there was a suicide bombing at an Ariana Grande concert in
all
England.
Places.
Yeah, and it's just like, that's fucking nuts. That
like, why?
Yeah, it's just destruction for the sake of destruction, and it's just crazy. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's a travesty, and it happened during a time when we were all like,
it was right after the France bad terrorist attack when they shot everyone in that bar and then went on a rampage through the city that really fucked everyone up, like worldwide. Like, people got really scared, because then that started a string of attacks, and that was part of it. That was like one of the last real big ones that happened.
Yeah,
but that France attack, that was some bad shit.
Yeah, and I think I correlate those two sort of together because they happened.
Well, yeah,
within,
it's all ISIS, and it all happened within like a 1 year span.
Yeah,
like they went on a fucking rampage. Like, there were people in England, especially, because there was that video of those football fans kicking the shit out of that terrorist with a knife. Because there was just a guy, because we had a bunch of like knife attacks in cities, and then a bunch of cars running into people, just cars running into town centers, like town squares, and mowing people down, and then blowing up and shit. Yeah,
this world is fucking we have to be a science experiment in someone's little jar.
Maybe we're just one giant cancer cell. Like, it's just destruction.
Honestly, I don't think there's that much bad stuff in the world, though. It's just we're pushing, a population of 800 billion.
Well,
or not 8 billion.
Yeah.
Sorry,
8 billion.
but and like everything is so broadcasted and streamed right now that all we see are the few bad eggs.
I think it's about this. For me, it's about the severity of it, though. There's definitely an escalation of events that happen, and luckily, ISIS appears to have gotten quelled.
Yeah,
but I don't know why my brain immediately went to that time Trump bombed them with that Moab, the mother of all bombs thing that like shoots little tiny bombs off of it. And she's like, "Yeah, we fucking did it." Like he was just like, "I'm gonna bomb the shit out of him."
So he just hearkening to them is what you're saying?
Pretty much. That's literally what it is. It's a bomb that comes down, and then you see a bunch of tiny little bombs come off.
It makes me think of that scene in Dune where that blimp or whatever shooting all the.
It looks like
out.
Flares, but then it's bombs. Yeah.
God, that movie was dope.
Oh, another week we're talking about really Dune because it's so good.
I know. Somebody at work today said they saw it for the first time yesterday, and I was like, "How was it?" And he was like, "It was amazing." And I was, yes. I was like, "Yes, it was."
Like, sorry, you have given me sticky pants. Anyway, back to Astroworld.
Yes. So the reason I bring her up is because she went to 22 funerals. She visited everyone in the hospital. She gave time, energy, effort. She felt something.
Yeah.
This man is the cause, one of the causes, if you want to be, nice.
He wrote the check.
And
he's just been so apathetic.
He's just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck.
Because he's hoping it just goes away.
Yeah. There was...
people died. It's not just going to go away, idiot.
Yeah, but in his head, he's like, people have died at concert before. Mine's not the first one. I hope it just goes away. If he just lays low, because that's what people do sometimes. If they get called out, to be canceled, but they don't respond to it anyway, typically just kind of blows the fuck over because people forget and they move on to the next person. Yeah.
The Kardashians will, honestly, I think their advice is just, it'll go away.
Yeah, our dad killed someone head on while texting and driving. Our mom, sorry. And,
wait.
I don't know what to call.
Wait, what?
So
Caitlyn Jenner.
I thought you were just talking about your parents.
Oh, no.
I was like, Jesus
God.
Christ.
No, they're much worse.
The Kardashians quote says, our then father, now mother, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
I think that's the safest way to say that sentence.
Some conspiracy theorists, and I don't believe this, but it was definitely brought up, thought that, and I don't remember if it was pre-transition or post-transition when that all went down, but they think that the transition was part of getting her, he, they, them, whatever, out of it.
Oh, shit.
Because if basically she hit someone head on while texting and driving, and I think she was driving a Hummer or some shit, absolutely demolished this other person. She was fine, and nothing ever happened.
There's going to be a fucking movie made about this family.
Yeah, it's already been made. It's called The Sopranos, but it's gonna be neutered. The only killing that's gonna happen is when one of their brother-in-laws, Travis Scott, has a concert where he gets 11 people, 9 to 11 people killed.
The show, The Housewives of whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That as a movie is when we are old, they're gonna have a movie coming out as the Kardashians, and it's just gonna be a movie about these fucking bitches.
They have the show, right?
No, but it's going to be the dramatization,
people
where it's
play them.
cutthroat, all this stuff. And it's them making weird statements and stuff.
I hope it's Martin Scorsese and he just does an Irishman version of it.
And I hope Hans Zimmer scores it and gives it an Interstellar score, just boom, boom.
I wonder if they're going to put...
Should be intense.
If they're going to put their mom in the background when they're making the video, that makes them famous. The mom's actor's going to have to... crawl out of the bed and just be like, yes, yes.
Or she's sitting in the OJ trial just looking at the camera yes, look at me. Mm-hmm. My children will all be squires of media.
Mm-hmm. What a fucking evil genius.
One of the
I think mostly just evil, but
I can't.
Mostly evil, yeah.
I can't stand any of those people. I can't stand them.
Mm-hmm.
They are... With the fact that so many, and I know some of the people that listen to this do, but the fact that so many young women look up to them.
Who else do they have to look up to, though?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Women don't have as good role models as men do.
Well,
it's unfortunate.
Well, they do. I just don't think we glamorize it as much.
Who do they have? Emma Watson?
No, because she's all fucky too.
She is?
Yeah.
Isn't she like
How
really
dare
dope?
you.
Huh?
She's part of the UN. She's brilliant.
Okay, hang on. Pause. Emma Watson is a very respectable person and everything like that. But then she says shit like she's self-partnered, not single, and I'm like, Emma, the fuck?
I see.
Okay,
What does that mean?
It's she's self-partnered, not single. I think it's a way of saying like I'm single, but I'm not out of a relationship. I'm in a relationship with me, so I'm worrying about me only, which would be I'm single or independent. Yeah. You know, any of the words that have already been used.
Which I understand the concept of trying to get people to think about you can just be happy and be single, but it was still weird. Weird.
The point is that modern media enjoys, and I need you to stick with me here because I'm about to say some incendiary shit, but follow me through here. Enjoys dumb women.
How dare you?
On TV? I'm so sorry. No, I forgot you were a woman. No, they enjoy dumb women on TV because, like, that's what they've always been, right? So there's kind of this expectation on TV shows that women are going to be like bimbos or like anything like that, and then they overcorrect and turn them into super women that like hate all men and everything like that. And it's like, why can't we just be equal? You know,
I see.
But the point is,
there's no in between.
Our media glorifies dumb people, but especially dumb women, because there's a specific or a large portion of this country that is older men who don't like women and will watch a show where a woman is the dumb bimbo or the dumb like whatever comic relief whatever, will watch that, and if they were smart or anything like that, he wouldn't. So TV ratings, people and everything are like, oh yeah, we'll just cater to modern,
whoever's watching the most.
Yeah, what the like you look at shows like NCIS and stuff like that. Characters that have women that are strong people, but they're also still like in their own weird ways super vulnerable and damsel in distressy and things like that. They're not necessarily independent. At some point in the show, they end up having to rely on a man for something.
I see. Right,
which is fine. There's no problem with that. But I'm just saying there's a common thread here of why the women we tend to glorify in the media tend to be ones that personify that image. And now we've got a bunch of people walking around thinking a fake ass, fake tits, and a fake face is good to have. And it's like, I mean, that's your life. You live it. You do you. That's the great part about America. I'm just here to say that's a fucking bad way to live, I think, like on a personal level. Like having to modify yourself and everything and like cake on their fucking makeup brands and everything. Like, I'm sorry that's what we have to offer you. Because I wish that, because there's so many really good female scientists and shit who never pop up in the media.
But it's like the media focuses on, like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and all those people that are Botoxed up. And it's like, most of them is plastic and it makes beauty standards totally unrealistic.
Yeah.
And people can never get that, like, except with operations. It's a weird line to walk.
Most people couldn't name one female Nobel Prize winner. They probably couldn't name one.
Know if I could.
Yeah, they couldn't probably name one female like Pulitzer Prize winning author even. Some of them. Like, and it's stuff like that where, but, I can name you Einstein's the easiest one because he won a fucking Nobel Prize, didn't he?
That's a man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I could name you smart men.
Yeah.
I could name you smart men.
Yeah.
But I can't name you any of the smart women. So it's unfortunate because that has led to an area where the Kardashians are thriving.
So,
do you see where my brain is falling down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, I follow.
Two things.
Bring women up more.
One, I'm gay, so I thought of Harriet Tubman immediately. Two,
did she win a Nobel Prize?
I don't. No. But I just thought of smart. I made the connection of smart women, and I went Harriet Tubman. I don't know why, but there. Yeah.
I mean, Jack Black's mom. You know about her because of a meme. But she helped send people to fucking space while she was pregnant and giving birth.
Correct.
She helped send people to fucking space.
Yep. Yes.
What the fuck? I could name you astronauts from all the time, but the only female astronaut I could name for you? It's like Sally Ride. And I think that's because she died, right?
I don't know.
Didn't
who
Sally
that
Ride
is.
die in the
I
challenge
don't
or something
know
like
who
that?
it is.
Oh, okay. See, so it's,
Sally Reed?
I thought it was Sally Ride.
I don't know. Sally Reed sounds like a name I know.
So for the purpose of this podcast,
See, we don't know.
See, but the point is that a lot of our media focuses on the male portion, which I'm not saying that's necessarily bad because I don't believe in only focusing on the female portion. But fuck, bring them up.
yeah,
Like they're functioning.
it should just
People.
be equal. Like they just should be equal.
I don't even want equality. I want equity. Just bring it out. We're human. We're both human.
Yes.
We're both human. We're both capable of things. You're probably going to lose a fight, maybe a little bit easier because of a biological disadvantage, but I don't know. If you know jiu-jitsu and I don't, you're going to kick my fucking ass.
Yeah.
Because you're a different human than I am.
Yeah, I think it's the generalization. Like, you can't say all women blank because
Yeah.
there's some divisions. You should be able to do just whatever the fuck you want because men are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
No,
we have
yeah.
superheroes. We have people who are nerdy that we look up to. We have like all of our different genres of men. Women usually have like what you're saying. I hate men and I'm the strongest, or damsel in distress. Plastic
Yeah.
it up.
How many female Nobel Prize winners do you think there are?
Yes. 6.
Gabe?
2.
57.
Holy
Ooh.
shit. Oh, okay. I have no idea how the Nobel Prize system works then. How often does that shit happen?
I don't know either.
Oh, okay.
But like it seems like a good number. But if like our relative perception of that guess is there's 6 of them, something's wrong.
You know what makes me upset? Nobel Prize should be looked at on like a grander scale, but I only like there are whole TV shows that are designed to just be filmed because the Grammys is on. So they
Yeah.
just talk about Grammy parties and making the thing. Who the fuck gives a shit?
I
Like a
can't
Nobel
s-
Prize
yeah.
is something that like we have done as Earth together, like because of this person. Usually, like there's a bunch of different types of prizes from the Nobel Prize, but
It's 'cause the media glorifies the wrong people.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
So I'm Googling it right now, and I just very quickly scanning through this, and I don't know if this is right, but I think there's only 5 Nobel laureates awarded per year.
Oh, 5 per year?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like 1 or... Oh, well, because there's different sections in the shit. Yeah, so I couldn't name you one of those. I think I could name a female Pulitzer Prize winner, but
But
could be
5
wrong.
per year since 1895. So I don't know if you do that math.
Whoa.
About 10% of them are women. Less than 10.
Fuck. And I
Wow.
mean, yeah, and I mean, that's just a side effect of like...
And they're
Male-
higher in population.
Well, yeah, but they weren't considered like intelligent individuals until the 70s and 80s. And even then,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know-
when did they get the ability to vote in America, at least? When was that?
that was the 20s, I think.
Yikes.
Yeah, the 20s or the late teens, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
When the suffrage movement went through.
It was a century ago when culture thought women weren't smart enough to contribute to
Yeah.
society through voting.
So fucking 60 years ago, fucking 50 or even 40 years ago, beating your wife was just kind of the norm.
Ridiculous.
You just gave him a slap every now and then. You put him in line. And it's like, so, because I mean, you know, what I said earlier, 80s and 90s was where women started to become intelligent people, but that's even still wrong. Like, we weren't seeing actual media and intellectual, like intellectual thought development about women until the early 2000s and up, where it was like, oh, we need to be promoting like things for women. Like we need to be,
Yeah,
because
that's true. That's a good...
we're not like catering to them and like we're not giving them what they need, like what the men are getting.
The reason why like Roseanne, Lucy, Leave It to Beaver, like all those shows were like such prominent mom figures is because it was the first fucking time it was happening.
Do you like us mansplaining this to all of you guys?
No, but
I have my legs open too. How do you feel about that?
I
I'm manspreading.
could feel your knees. Can you stop?
all the women who
Okay,
are
look,
listening.
it's the crack. It's not me. What?
all the women who are listening to this podcast, at some point when you said, "Can you name me a Nobel Prize winner?" the ones who could went, "Fuck yeah," and the ones who couldn't went, "Shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Gotcha, bitch.
I know that, dude. They all did it.
By the way, any women listening to this podcast, you're probably smarter than us. So we're definitely remember that.
I have a kind of
Tanner looked at me like, "How dare you?"
No. You're right. I mean, because like we're just a bunch of dudes talking about some stuff that isn't as relative to us as it is to the other half of the human race.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm looking at it through a male perspective. Let's put it that way. Take everything I say as looking at it through a male perspective. If I am wrong, feel free to at me on Twitter.
Yeah, but so there's not many female Nobel laureates out there, but I wonder if the percentage for Pulitzer Prize is higher.
It probably is because there's lots of female
there's
writers.
so many good female writers.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you talk like, famous authors even, people's, minds typically go towards like Stephen King, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Ernest Hemingway, like all of these real classic, Shakespeare, all these classic authors, Dante, blah, blah, blah. I can think of Ayn Rand, J.K. Rowling, Claudia Gray, who's not even like a really celebrated author. She writes for Star Wars.
Oh.
Which she writes amazing books.
Jane
You should go read
Austen.
them. Jane Austen.
I think
Edith Wharton.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, Edith Wharton is?
No.
I can't think of a.
I think she was a poet. I don't even know, but I just know the name.
Dog.
She was a American novelist. She's like one of the more important American
E.L.
authors.
James, Stephanie Meyer, 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight. I don't know why I remember
fucking
E.L.
she
James.
wrote Age of Innocence.
I've never read that.
Oh, you've heard of it though, right?
I have heard
Okay.
of it, but I've never read it.
That's a lot of female writers.
Who's the chick that wrote To Kill a Mockingbird?
Good question.
Lee.
T.S. Eliot? No, that was The Outsiders.
Harper Lee.
Harper Lee.
Harper
yeah.
Lee.
Yeah. Not
Good.
T.S. Eliot.
I-
But T.S. Eliot, that's another female writer who wrote about exclusively men
I really thought T.S. Eliot was a
in that
dude.
book. No, T.S. Eliot, I'm pretty sure was a female writer. Because that's why Pony Boy and what's his name? Ralph Macchio. That's why they're all like a little too in touch with their feelings, I think. Because at the time, I don't think a male writer would have written two characters like that, which I think is why T.S. Eliot did it so well.
I heard a small piece of The Outsiders. Actually, the piece that everyone memes in their cartoons.
Stay golden, Pony Boy.
That portion they always do. That's the portion that I saw of The Outsiders.
Mm.
And I have absolutely no fiber in my being to be any more knowledgeable about this story. Although I know that it is a fantastic story and many people are like recommend it.
Mm.
I don't know what it is about this like thing of The Outsiders, but I fucking hate it. I just don't like it. I don't want anything a part of it. I don't know why I hate it so much.
Oh,
But I do.
It is not by T.S. Eliot. I think I might be thinking of C.S. Eliot?
C.S. Lewis.
Lewis. Who's T.S. Eliot? Anyway.
T.S. Eliot's a name I know.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so The Outriders, The Outsiders, I have had some drinks, is by author S.E. Hinton. T.S.
Eliot is a dude.
T.S. Eliot, who that's a dude, but what did he write? Hang on. He wrote The Wasteland, The Love Song of J. Alfred.
I'm looking through his
Profile?
stuff and I don't recognize any of the stuff he's written, but I know his name for some
Why
reason.
the fuck do I know T.S. Eliot?
He's a pretty prominent poet.
Yeah, I have a giant book of poetry in my room. I read pretty often. I think that might be where it's coming from. Yeah, because I don't know any of this shit.
Yeah, I don't read poetry, but I know his name.
What the fuck? That's my brain is such a mystery. But he has a book called The Idea of Christian Society.
Whoa. This says he was the lyricist for Cats.
What? The play?
Yeah.
What?
That backs up why I hate Outsiders so much.
Cats
Nope, different people. Oh. S.E. Hinton.
I now
is
have a
woman.
second person I
It's-
hate that much.
Cats is based on the 1939 poetry collection Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot.
Oh my God. So I was just looking because I was like, holy shit, he has a book called The Naming of Cats. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Because it looks like a kid's book or something.
What the fuck is happening with this man?
I don't know. T.S. Eliot, why do I know your name? And why are all your pictures of you on Google looking at me like you just found out that I shove weed up my butt?
But anyways,
so yeah,
except for T.S. Eliot, there's a lot of good female authors out there and poets.
yeah, correct.
So they're alive. They're there. We just don't pay attention to them.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
yeah.
So I have a question for Tanner. It brings onto this a little bit. It's a very long question, so just kind of stick with me here.
I'll try.
Okay. So I had a question while I was traveling that was like, I wonder how COVID has impacted stocks. I'm going to ask Tanner this. Eventually, more and more things just kept piling on where I was like, I wonder if this impacts stocks. I wonder if this impacts stocks. Because there are times in the media from someone who has absolutely no idea about finances. Like, I'm very much just a Mexican kid who came from a place where no one knew about this, nor to even think of as an option to learn.
The mystical land of Modesto.
Anyway.
Somewhere in northern Spain. We still don't know. It's a lost civilization.
Anyway. I was just curious about all these different topics of like how COVID impacted it, how it has been since, what's it looking like, stuff like that. But this conversation made me think, if media were to focus solely on the women who are brilliant and give them better role models, do you think with who owns what is today, that would fuck with their finances? And that's why we kind of gear towards, because you know how like there's a man who owns like 90% of just the TV we watch.
Okay, yeah.
I would assume it would be bad if more educated people had the light shined on them for us to learn, and smarter voters mean that we can get people out of power who shouldn't be there.
Yes.
So I imagine on that scale, that's kind of why. But do you think that has any impact on like stock markets of like how money works versus
in terms of female ownership?
Yes, I guess so.
Ownership of the stock or the companies?
I don't know.
I'm not necessarily following what you're asking. But,
okay. So generally what I'm asking is how things affect the stock market.
Well, so back to like COVID.
Yes.
That was a huge thing on the stock market back in March of last year. Within that month, and that's when like lockdowns were put into place. COVID was a big deal. Within that month, the whole U.S. economy, if you track like the S&P 500, which is probably the most popular stock index there is, the S&P 500 tracks the top 500 largest market cap companies there are. So think your Apples, your Microsofts, and it puts it all into one number, right? And it tracks that number. So within that month, that number dropped by like 30%. Which is steeper than it dropped in 2008, is steeper from the recession from the 80s that happened before it. So like very, very significant drop. COVID affected it a crazy amount.
Wow.
If you were smart and you bought that dip, you're a multimillionaire right now. Because since then, over the last year, the market has bounced back and it's gotten higher than that by maybe like 10%. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but it's came back plus some. So like if you bought the bottom and then held it till now, over the course of time, like before COVID, in order to get from point A to point B, would have taken you a decade. Now you've done it in a year. It's bounced back that fast. And a lot of that has been fueled by government spending, the PPP loans and the stimuluses that everybody got. So COVID does affect things, but the government also affects things.
I see.
And I mean, like pretty much everything you can think of affects the stock market. So like every single news headline that you see pop up about some stock or some company that's publicly traded, it's going to affect that stock price. But you, as like a personal investor, like you're just a normal person, right?
Yeah.
Within the stock market, you're known as a retail investor. If you pulled up Wall Street Journal right now and you saw some headline about Pfizer, they're working on doing a vaccination pill instead of a shot. Sounds like a good idea. You think maybe the stock's going to go up because of this, because it's a promising headline. You're already like too late.
Yeah.
Because like the Charles Schwabs of the world, Vanguard, every single large bank you can think of has these really complex supercomputers and algorithms that the second a headline is out there, they read it and analyze it 100 times over in a blink of an eye before you even know it's out there, and they make their move on it. So it affects it, but it affects it so fast that you like virtually can't profit off of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So
It's almost like we have laws in place called trust busting and stuff that should stop that.
That's not even trust busting though. That's just efficient market hypothesis.
Yeah, true. It's not really against anything.
what's trust busting?
Trust busting is like monopoly busting.
Oh.
So like, you know how Disney's bought like 3 or 4 major media conglomerates and stuff like that over the past 10, 20 years. That all had to go through U.S. Superior Court to be like confirmed. Like, yep, you can do this. We don't consider this a monopoly on any avenue yet. Yeah. But that obviously, our Superior Court's pretty easily swayed on some things.
Yeah. All this company has to do is spend a couple $100 million on lobbying.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, Senator, we'll keep you in office next election.
Yeah.
If you pass this, and they do.
We need a Teddy Roosevelt.
The world is run by money, and these companies have way more money than our government does, and that's just kind of the truth of the matter.
Yeah. But he's right. That is not trust busting what they're doing. It's just it's gaming the game because they can.
They have the resources to be better. Yeah. And they just are.
And fuck you. Get fucked. We're better than you.
But that's not to say that there aren't strategies that retail investors can follow to make money,
Yeah.
It's just you can't play their game. Like retail investing is, I think, maybe like 2% of the whole stock market. Everything else is owned by large banks and institutions.
Have I ever told you the story of my teacher who told us about how he in like the early 2000s decided to get into investing? And he invested in Netflix, right? This is when they're like DVDs.
Yeah, they were shipping it.
Yeah, and he was like, I put a lot of money into that.
Oh, what a move, dude.
Yeah, and then they came out with their streaming model, right? Because you got to remember, Netflix is like one of the first ones to do a streaming model, like if not the first. Like, they came out with a streaming model, and he said everyone was so wary of it. And everyone was like, that's never gonna work. Like, no one's ever gonna do that. Who would do that kind of thing? That it dipped a little bit at first. The Netflix stock did. It dipped a little bit at first because it was such a new technology. It was such a new thing. And he sold all of it.
Dang.
And he was like, today that would have been worth a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
I was like sitting there looking at him. I was like, oh my God. Well, but he turned out to be a dick, so fuck him. But.
Even in the last 5 years, Netflix has gone up like 500%.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
nuts.
That's still way after they started the streaming thing. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, he probably would be in the millions right now.
That's crazy.
Off an investment. But that's unfortunately why I don't fuck with the stock market too much, is because you have to rely on the long game of it sometimes, but you also have to stay vigilant with it. And I much prefer the 401k way of doing it or something like that, where the money, I don't see it. And then every now and then I log in, I'm like, holy shit, I have a ton of money in my 401k. We're fucking right on.
and that's the way to do it. Like the 401ks are built off of, like ETFs and mutual funds.
Yeah.
And those things just kind of track the market. You regularly put into it. You're going to do what's called dollar cost averaging. If you put money into the stock market, into just say like the S&P 500, again, we'll use that as an example. You do it once a week, every week. 1 week it's going to be high, next week it's going to be low. Over the long term, you're averaging between the highs and the lows, and you're getting a good cost basis. And as the market just continues to go upwards, your cost basis is a lot better than most people, and you're just going to make money super easy. Like you just sit it and forget it.
Yeah, I think my 401k currently has like a 17% return on it.
That's dope.
Like it's got a pretty good goddamn return percentage on it, and it's not really wavering.
And it's like as long as you're beating inflation, you're making money.
Yeah, and it's like I've got 40 years almost exactly to grow that shit. Even if there are dips, as long as the country's not collapsing as a whole, which I got other problems then, it's going to bounce back at some point.
Every major depression, recession there's ever been, it's come back.
Yeah, that's like the number one thing I've always heard of the stock market is it's always going to come back. Like, yes, it dips and shit goes bad, but unless there's a total collapse of everything, it's going to bounce back.
And if there is a total collapse of everything, we have bigger problems.
Yeah, exactly. If there's total collapse of everything, the stock market is not a fucking
Money's
worry.
no longer a concern. You have to worry about food, my guy.
Yeah, we're eating 5-year-old canned corned beef hash straight from the can and shit like that, which is basically just dog food. But when you bake it, it's so good.
So,
or bake it when you cook it.
The thing that you're talking about, where you just kind of set it and forget it.
Yeah.
When the stock crashes, does that thing know to go buy things? Buy things. Because if it goes back up, it will...
So if you're a retail investor, you have to do that yourself. Okay. Like when I'm talking about the algorithms, that's something a big bank has. And they have, calculations and math that's way over all of our heads combined.
It's all risk assessment algorithms and shit. Like, has this company bounced back before? How much has it bounced back? How much will it bounce back? Because then we'll buy a shit ton if it's going to bounce back stronger, possibly.
But so what you want to know as an investor within the retail game is it's like if you look at a company, take AT&T right now. They've done shit for a year. Like they're down 20%, probably more for the year. But do you think AT&T is going to go anywhere in the next 10 years? Like, you think they're going to disappear?
No.
No.
One of the original telecom companies in the U.S.?
Yeah. Not only are they a telecom company and, like, do the whole phone thing, but they also own Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They like, have their hands in a bunch of different
They're
stuff.
on Warner Media, Time Warner, that's all them.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, like, if with the long term in mind, but it's hard to know because, like, if, like you said, Tommy, your guy invested in Netflix and Netflix did the streaming thing. If you think streaming's not going to go the way it did, you're going to pull out. So, like, it's still, everything's hindsight 2020. It's hard to know the future, but if you...
Honestly, though, he just didn't have his future goggles on. Because when I heard of streaming, I was like, oh, that's going to be fucking radical. Because even if it's shit now, in 5 years, it's going to be amazing. And then within 2 years, it was amazing. It just, bam, 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 that technology rule went into
Look
play.
at, like, worldwide companies, like Coca-Cola or Disney. You know they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Any of the automotive people,
if one quarter they have, like, a bad earnings and it tanks the stock by like 5 or 10%. You buy that shit.
Yeah. Any of the big pharmaceutical companies, those typically aren't gonna go down easy.
Not really.
But like it's
Not
easier
in our
said than
fucking
done
lifetime.
because when it comes down to it, not a lot of people have the patience to play that long term game. But like that's how Warren Buffett got rich. Is he invested in Coca-Cola, and I think AT&T is one of his larger holdings too, and like McCormick, like the seasoning brand. McCormick is in every house. It's in every household. It's not. It's like you don't look at that.
That's a publicly traded company. What the fuck?
You don't look at your steak seasoning and think this is a company I want to invest in.
Yeah.
Not really. But Warren Buffett looks at it and he's like, "There's a can of McCormick seasoning in everybody's household. I want to invest in that company."
How do I invest in corned beef hash?
Well, so the Netflix thing you brought up, I remember when Netflix came out and they had their DVDs they send to you. I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And I remember telling everyone, if I knew how to invest, I would invest into this company because they're going to be big.
Indoor plumbing. It's gonna be big.
And I will die knowing that I should have
you didn't
just
have the chance.
figured out
I know.
how to
No.
invest on
Dude,
my own.
How fucking crazy is it though that over the course of 15 years, or not even 15 years really, like 5 to 10 years, we went from having DVDs mailed to us. So we had to order. You had a queue. I remember because my mom was all about Netflix when it came out. You had a queue and you had your movies, and they would send you like your first 2 movies, and they wouldn't send you the rest until you sent one back, and then they would send that to you, and it would take like a week or 2. And like they would keep getting progressively faster as it got more streamlined and everything, and they got their own special envelopes and all that shit.
They got it to 2 days.
Yeah. They did Amazon before
days.
Amazon.
Good shit, dude.
But they got it up there, and then bam, digital media only. Like they still do the DVD service, but like for a small selection of things. But you're still like streaming's the obvious answer. Everyone's got internet pretty much. Everyone has either a TV or a computer or a phone. You can stream on anything.
thing.
Yeah.
But 10 years ago, streaming was not the obvious answer. Like that's the hard part.
No, that's what I'm saying is it's so
It was for me, man.
it's such a fucky thing because
I had a
Gabe,
laptop.
tell me what's the next big thing? What is it?
use your site.
It's weed. I'm telling you, it's weed.
Dude, if weed goes public, I'm buying
Weed
in.
sucks.
Oh,
You want to
So-
know my move for weed? Can I tell you guys my move for weed?
Are we gonna go to weed?
Yes. But let me tell you, that was actually my guess. Is because
Weed or electric vehicles?
see
True.
electric vehicles definitely.
Invest in Lucid.
But I would assume that everyone was like electric vehicles. So because I don't know how to do the investing, like I don't know at what point I can think of this idea. But
Yeah.
Tommy, do you want to hear some shit about Lucid?
They're in my hometown. They're based out of they're manufacturing. in my hometown.
But so they're down like 10% right now, so I don't know if this fact is still relevant.
Uh-huh.
But like earlier this week, Lucid, their market cap was higher than Ford's.
Wow,
They were valued higher than Ford, and as of like this week,
Yeah,
they haven't sold more than 100 cars.
Yeah. Well,
How crazy is that?
they're making like basically electric cars for people who would usually buy a Rolls Royce or a Bentley.
Yeah.
And they're oddly enough making them in my hometown. I actually applied for a job there at one point.
No way.
Yeah, I applied for like an inventory manager or something like that because I was like, if I can get in on this, I want to get in on this. But I didn't get it. Obviously, I wasn't good enough. You know, just like with everyone else. But
The market's just so fucky to me because
well, you're looking at companies and going, did they make the right decision? And sometimes the right decision sounds like it's out of left field. Like streaming, like we just got past dial-up. How the fuck are people supposed to download movies and watch them? Like that's going to cost a fortune. Blah, blah, blah. And bam, bam, bam. Everything else technologically moves forward as well. And suddenly streaming isn't so crazy. We went from having, over the course of 20 years, we went from having 8-bit, 16-bit graphics in most games to suddenly you watch me play Far Cry 5 or like the show, you watch us play the show, that shit looks real sometimes. Like in Far Cry 5, my hunting rifle, have you noticed, it leaves, because my graphics are so high on my PC, it leaves fingerprint oil smudge marks on the rifle. Because I'm carrying it and running and shit like that. It does that. That is fucking mind-blowing, but it's because it all goes back to that rule that technology will advance double over every single year.
Yeah, Moore's Law.
Yeah, Moore's Law. There you go. But, and it would also that technology will also get cheaper every year. But because new technology is also doubling, that's why it's so easy now to look at like I can go look at an 8K TV at a Best Buy somewhere and I'd be like, wow, $6,000, $5,000, however much it costs. That's nuts. I'll wait 5 years and that's going to be the regular
standard.
Yeah, that's going to be a $700 TV on Amazon.
Yep.
5 years, maybe. We're talking maybe even 2 years at the most.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Refused to buy my TV for years. Tommy, in our first home together, like our first apartment, I didn't
don't
have
say
a
home.
TV.
It makes it sound like we're a thing.
We're a thing.
We're not a thing.
I fixed it.
Not yet.
I fixed it.
I'm not on the fucking lease, okay? No, I'm just,
but I didn't have a TV, and I was fine with that.
yeah,
I was completely
that's right.
fine.
You didn't.
No,
You just had your record player in your room.
Yeah, I had a record player, my books,
Do you
and
remember-
that was it.
Do you remember the night?
That's nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Do you remember the night I was standing in there with you, high off my ass on edibles while you were like ironing and listening to music, and I thought Davey was a demon?
Yeah.
I looked at Davey and like suddenly his face started, and he was like, I was like, what the fuck? It was like because he was probably making some yawn face or something, and my high brain couldn't
funny.
make it connect.
I remember that, and this is how I remember it. You did this, and I put the iron down, and I went, okay, let's look at Davey.
Yeah, is Davey showing his true form? Like, what's happening?
I was like, did you kill Davey?
Yeah, no, you didn't have a TV
Yeah, I
in
didn't
that
have a
apartment
TV.
at all.
I didn't have it until like
You're probably a lot happier, right?
You
You just streamed everything on your phone, probably, huh?
my laptop. I just had everything on my laptop. But
I've got some friends that do that. They just stream off their laptop.
Yeah.
but
at that time.
I didn't get a TV because my stepdad gave me one that he wasn't using, and I was like, okay, sure. And I had it for like the last 2 months we were there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I rearranged again. And I
God,
was
that feels like
I got
forever ago.
I got a TV.
Yeah.
And then after that, I bought an Xbox for the first time ever.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But anyway, but I refused to buy this TV until 4K was standard, and I was like, okay, now I'll buy one because if I'm going to buy a fucking TV, I'm going to want to see. I want to see every pore on their asshole.
That TV behind us currently,
Oh.
my 65-inch 1080p regular HD TV back there, has served me well. But at the time when I bought it, it was like 2015, and 4K was the new hot shit. And I went to the store and I could spend $1,000 on a 65-inch 1080p TV. Or I could attempt a future-proof, which you can't really future-proof anything.
Nah.
I could attempt a future-proof by buying a 4K TV at that same price that was like 32 inches.
Still small.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to go with this because
It's big.
HD is all right with me now. But now I can go on Amazon. I can probably get a 55, 65-inch TV for the same price, $800 to $1,000.
Maybe less.
Maybe even less than that on like Amazon days and Black Friday and shit like that. So the there is a waiting period, but now that 4K TVs have entered that range, now 8K TVs are starting to come out, and it's like it's just going to keep happening.
Yep.
I don't know how the fuck what K we're going to be at in 20 years.
Yeah, at what K do you just put a different letter there?
It's when we have to put a triple K. That's when they're like, cut it off.
Eventually, we're not even going to be able to see a quality difference.
No,
like,
honestly,
our eyes aren't going to
eyes,
be able to register.
Yeah.
Our eyes can't do that shit. I think the future of like TVs and stuff like that is more based in frame rate. I think once.
No, but even then, frame rate too. Like we've pretty much capped out on frame rate. Like our eyes can't get faster.
Yeah, but I mean, like most TVs right now don't have more than 60 FPS, and if they do have more frame rate, it's fake frame rate. So they're basically putting in blank frames to make it seem smoother, but it's just tricking your brain.
Yeah.
So I predict with 4K and 8K, we're probably going to see the shift to high, especially with gaming and consoles being more ready to handle this shit. We're going to be seeing the FPS range shoot up, like a genuine FPS range. But there's going to be a point like 8K. Whenever you're staring at an 8K TV, you can't tell the fucking difference. There's not a fucking pixel. Like you can't fucking see it unless you get way up close, and even then, can't. It's like barely noticeable.
So when
Tanner's over here, like I can't wait to have one.
the first time I see.
Halo's gonna look so good.
Yeah.
The first time that I saw an advertisement for like some type of virtual reality, I was like, "That's the coolest shit ever." I will never get one until it's really, really good quality.
Yeah, the graphics so far are kind of ass, unless you spend a ridiculous amount of money.
But now it's already at the stage where if you had the money, you could do it. So eventually, it'll be
normal,
and
it'll cost as much as an Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah. Technology is pretty much, most of it can be summed up in basically each year we figure out how to shrink stuff down and add more. That's what like CPUs are at their, with no pun intended, at their core. Is basically, we started off with single core CPUs, and we went to dual core, then went to quad core, then 6-core. Like I have a 6-core CPU, but they sell 32 core CPUs. Like it's just about shrinking technology and making more of it accessible within that same area, that same space.
So I had the same thought about MP3 players. So I always have this theory where there's a possibility is given to the world. Someone discovers it and there's like, hey, we can do this. And there's an invention that's a Band-Aid invention. It's basically what do you think of this idea? And then someone goes and makes it better. And this is the real idea behind it. This is, we wanted virtual reality. We got goggles that you put your phone into and you just walk around, and that's your...
Yeah, by the way, everyone, that was a shitty Christmas gift. I got like 5 of those. I'm like, I'm never going to use any of these.
Yes, so that's the basis of this thought that I've always had, is there's always the invention that's like, here's virtual reality. And a year later, you have the... whatchamacallit coming out. What does Spitz have? Oculus.
Yeah, the Oculus went from being like a $2,000 machine to now you can get it for like $300-400, $500 maybe.
Yeah, super affordable.
Like, yeah, and it's only gonna fall. Like, we're only gonna see that shit fall. Where you can get the same model, maybe not the best graphics, but you can probably get it for $200 in a couple of years because they're gonna have a better model, and that's gonna be the one on the way out.
Spitz and I went and saw a full setup for virtual reality. This woman who built the machine was explaining it to him.
Yeah.
Put him in it, let him play, and there's like a walking mat. You put your arms, your face, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And she was explaining it, and I'm like, this is going to be so cheap soon. So soon.
Dude, there's 100%.
I just got to be patient.
Imagine
100.
it's like one day you just have a room, and it's like holograms and projectors on every single wall, on the floor, and on the ceiling.
Yeah.
You're just totally immersed,
just-
and you're standing on a platform that moves the way you're moving.
Yeah, no, they
So it feels like you're like walking around. And
there's
you're like, oh, it'd be so
100%
sick.
within the next 15 to 20 years. I wouldn't be surprised if like typical VR setups come with one of those stands that have like the treadmill on it, basically, that you walk on, that simulates your movement so you can't walk around your room or anything. Sorry, Tanner.
How crazy is it going to be that we're living in a simulation and then we're going to begin living in a simulation?
Dude, it's almost like Stephen Hawking was onto something about infinite parallel universes, and Sasquatch is part of it. Mothman too. I'll see you at our next meeting.
I'm going to be really pissed if we're just really advanced Sims characters. I'm being real pissed.
Oobla, ustanabe.
Stop.
No,
it.
thank you.
You don't wanna spend your life making woohoo for the enjoyment of some creepy person.
Nope.
No. I'm waiting for the day I get forgotten about.
Oh no, then you end up dead in the swimming pool. At least that's how it happens with my Sims.
Oh, that's sad.
Nah, we were little sociopaths with Sims as kids. We used to put
Oh
them.
my God.
We used to put them all in a pool and then take the ladder out.
Oh, jeez.
And you just watch them all just slowly start to freak out. And it's like,
Do they drown or do they starve first?
I don't remember. I just know they died. But I think they drown first because they get tired.
But they couldn't stand in this pool. It's too deep.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
No.
I would at least drop down, bounce up.
Yeah, if we're Sims, I've committed mass genocide. Like I'm a horrible person.
Think of that year that all those people died in a swimming pool. Didn't the Sims game come out around then?
I have no idea what you're talking
Are you
about.
People
saying,
always die in
Are you
swimming pools
saying
in Arizona.
God
Which-
got the Sims game and was like, I'm gonna convert this to work with them? Satan,
Isn't-
come help me.
Isn't that a little weird? This is Arizona, and every year I see so many children and people die in swimming pools.
I think this is just you, man.
I just don't watch the news.
I lived in this area for 5 years now, and it's news to me.
You've never heard about a child dying in a swimming pool?
No.
No?
I mean,
I don't know.
no.
Well, okay. So when I was growing up, it's a lot less now.
Mhm.
But when I was growing up, it was a big deal because it was happening a lot.
Well, now you have to have fences around it for insurance
You know,
reasons.
well, you don't have to, but
This
you
is-
can.
This is how I ended up. This is how I base my people dying in swimming pools.
If
If I go to my
It's
Nana
just natural
Tata's house
selection. It's fine.
once during
Ouch.
the summer, because I always go to their house to go swimming. If I go to their house and they're watching the news about someone who had just drowned, at least once, I'm like, how? How the fuck?
I always see the news headlines of the people that died hiking and stuff.
oh yeah, the idiots
Because they
in the
go
summer.
out in the middle of the summer with one
And we-
bottle of water.
Yeah.
We always have one that has to get air rescued.
Yep.
Always one. Once
Yep.
every year. I wait for
And
him.
even though we literally all of our media forms, the radio, the fucking TV, everything, fucking tells you, hey. Fucking drink water. It's hot outside. You're not supposed to live here. Like, you're not supposed to be in. Your body isn't made for this. You need to drink water.
If you are above the age of, below the age of, do not go outside
Like,
today.
I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I love camping. I love backpacking. I love all of that, right? You're not going to see me out there if it's over 90
No,
degrees.
it's
fuck
miserable.
That. Yeah, fuck that.
It's
No.
miserable.
Absolutely
I
not.
love nature. I don't need that shit.
It's too fucking hot.
What I'm saying is, Astroworld was dumb, okay? No. Oh, we were already on to Stocks. That's right. Stonks. Stonks. But, yeah. So the stock market is fucky. Is
Yeah.
basically the final note there.
Pretty much, yeah.
And being a retail investor puts you at an immediate disadvantage.
I'll think about
In
what's
the long
next.
term, no. But it's
Well, in
like
the long term, no.
you want to hear a study that's really interesting?
Mm-hmm.
There. So do you know what game show is it where there's 3 doors and the guy's like pick a door, the person picks a door, and the game show host opens a different door and shows that there's not a prize behind it. And then he's like, okay, now there's only 2 doors left. You can stick with your answer or you can change. And if you pick the door with the prize behind it, you get it.
Is that the Price is Right? No.
No,
I mean, that sounds like Deal or No Deal, but
I think it's that one.
Deal or No Deal is briefcases, though. It's not doors.
Oh.
It's whenever they're like, they look at a briefcase and they say, briefcase 3, and if it's like the $1 million prize that
lose
they
it.
open,
Yeah.
that comes off the board. Now they can only make like $500,000.
Okay, I gotcha.
Like, so it's about whittling it down.
It might have come from that one. But so pretty much if you're a retail investor, buy and hold, long-term trend trading, the way to do it. Day trading is really hard. You have to be a different type of person to do it. I tried for a couple of years. I found some success, but if
Tanner is saying he's built different.
I ended up failing though. I turned $400 into $2,500, and then it went back down to $400. So,
Oh.
but it's like
You sound exactly like every Wall Street Bets post I see.
yeah, no, pretty much. But everyone gets beginner's luck, but there's you just need to be a machine with it, and emotions get in the way.
Yeah.
And this study shows these emotions. So the study takes that concept of the whole pick a door thing and did it with humans and with animals. And so like the concept is like they trained rats, or I think it was rats or mice. And so there's like 3 kind of feeding tubes that they could go to. They would go up to one. Each tube had like a light on top of it. Green, good, red, bad, obviously, right? So the mouse would go up to one. A light on one of the other 2 remaining tubes would show red. So the mouse knew that tube was bad. Now the mouse had a choice to stay where it was or go to the next one, same as the game show, right? And if they made the right choice, they'd get the treat. If they didn't, they wouldn't get a treat. They did the same test with animals and people, and the results are kind of nuts. And it's a really interesting case study in how we process statistics, because it's really a simple exercise in probabilities. So if you think about the probabilities, Gabe, you pick A, B, or C. There's a treat behind one of them. You have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing the right treat, right? So then, say you pick A, I show you B. There's nothing behind B. So, and you can now choose to stay, or you can choose to change. Your choices with sticking with A, the chance remains the same there. It's still 1 in 3 because that was the original chance you had. B is no longer in the question. Therefore, C has a chance of being 2/3.
But because people see one empty, they immediately assume it's now a 50-50 shot.
So that could be part of it, but it's also like, oh, I'm trusting my gut. Like I have intuition. I'm feeling this way about it. And that fucks people up.
Yeah.
These mice were able to figure out that on a statistical, like average probability basis, switching got them the treat more often than not.
Interesting.
And it took them about a day to figure it out. So like at first, the mice had like 30% success rate, which makes sense because it's a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah.
Day 2, they were about 45. Day 3, they were a little over 60. People got worse.
Holy fuck. Because their confidence gets hit.
Yeah.
And they start making shaky decisions.
And it's like our IQ levels and our intelligence, our ability to process statistics are way above that of a mice, obviously.
Of a mouse.
But our ability to comprehend these things are also hindered by our emotions and, you know, like the way we comprehend and think about things. And it's like, I think that study is super, super interesting. And that's part of the reason why people fail at day trading. Because it's like, if you're day trading and you're throwing $100 on Apple and you want it to go up or down depending on if you're long or short, in one day, that's kind of hard to do. In the long term, a lot easier to know what's going to go up.
Yeah.
So it's like those emotions mess up people, and that's why day trading is really hard.
It's legit. But Robinhood has a fucking notification that pops up if you open it too much in a day that says, "Hey, BT Dubs, looking at your stocks too much in a day is kind of a bad idea."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're just gonna make yourself like freak out and sell.
Yeah. So like if you're just the average person, you don't have time to day trade, but you want to invest and you want to make some money for yourself, buy and hold. Know what you're buying. Know it's a decent company that's going to stick around for a while, and you'll make money. I promise you. But everyone sees, like, you know, on Instagram or Twitter, you see, you know, kind of like the celebrity traders that are out there that are showing like, I made $9 million in a day, or like I got rich quick off of Bitcoin. It's like our world has created a culture in where you don't need to work for what you want. And the easiest way to get there is the best way, and that's day trading, or that's trading cryptocurrency. And like, power to you if you can do it, but for most people it's tough.
Yeah, and all those dudes who are like, I made $9 million a day, you're forgetting to mention like the fucking, you know, however many millions of principal you put into it to get that return back.
I mean, like I say, if you're in college, or, you know, if you're like living with your parents and you have some money to spend and you have time to put to it, do it, grind it out. You could find success. But I was day trading while I was working. I couldn't focus on it the whole time. Work got busy. I got worse at it. Not possible. If you can put 8 hours a day to it, make it work, do it.
Yeah.
If not, invest like Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
And only eat dollar sandwiches.
Yes. Dude goes to McDonald's every day.
Yep. Lives in a regular size house too, right? Yeah.
He still drives a car from like the 90s.
See, that's the one I couldn't handle. I would still drive a nice ass
Yeah,
car.
I'd get a nice. Not even nice. I would just get something from this decade, you know?
I would just get like the most tricked out Bronco, the most tricked out Raptor, and then, like just like all my dream cars. And I'd be like, that's what I want my money spent on right there. Those are my babies.
You guys are such different people. You're like, nah, just, you know, in this decade.
You'd buy
I just like, as long as it
tortilla-making
has like a good sound system.
What would your splooge be?
My splooge?
Yeah.
Probably it'd be on a house or a car. Like I'd want to live comfortably. That would be my splooge. Everything outside of that, I'm still gonna budget like crazy.
See, I would buy a modest house because I don't like big houses. Like,
Oh no,
super big
yeah,
houses.
I wouldn't need a big house. I would want
Yeah.
a new one and one that's like tricked out the nines.
Yeah,
with,
honestly,
like, technology and stuff.
I would probably build my own house and build like something like that house in the game because I like that house so much.
Yeah.
But but my cars, I would have multiple cars to the point where I would be found regularly in the drive-thru crying because I couldn't decide on which one to take out for that day.
I hope my future allows for the house that I want in my head to be built because I'm finished. It's in my head.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
One day I just want to be wealthy enough to like hire an internal design person.
Me.
Yeah.
Or what do you call those people? Interior design.
Interior
internal.
design.
Yeah, and just have them
Design my internals.
Just have them redo everything. If I don't have a brand new house that's the way I want it, hire somebody to make it that
Just
way.
tell them like, this is the style I want. You go with
That's
the
the
rest.
hard part though. I wouldn't even know how to tell them my style. I would just like,
I know, I've
you have
tried-
to be good at what
They would
you
probably
do.
have like styles to tell
To
you
figure
and
it
stuff.
out, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised like because what is your splooge? Because like I would assume you'd buy all the Mexican cooking tools you're always talking about that are like prophecy. Like the fucking, was it the tortilla press or whatever?
Look, I could not find it anywhere.
See?
I went
See,
to
look at 'em. Look at 'em.
several
Rabid.
stores and I tried Amazon. They just didn't exist. You can only get them by unlocking a special quest.
but isn't there something
in
else?
Mexican
It's because
culture.
Abuelita's like
They're the
she
only
holds them
ones.
all.
Yeah,
Dude,
you
I'm telling
gotta-
you, Abuelitas at night, like when they're like, okay, go to bed, and you're like, okay, come
Yeah, I
on,
know.
Abuelita. And they go into the back and start welding shit and start like, boom, boom, like forging shit.
Legitimately, I've watched. Okay,
They're rigging the market,
So
dude.
this
They're
is
making it so Gabe can't buy what he wants.
this is gonna make me sound a little bit bad,
Uh-oh.
but it's fine.
Uh-oh.
So, my Nana and Tata have been together for fucking forever.
Manana.
So, my Tata was going to work. He worked for APS.
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes to work at weird times. We were all swimming, and my Nana's out there and talking to us with him, and he gets ready for work, and he goes, and then she comes out and immediately starts mowing the lawn. Immediately. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, do you want me to help? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And like, I'm walking towards her and she smacks my hands. And she's like, no, I've been waiting for him to leave all day so I can get all this done. And I'm like, she's like, no, go swimming. I'm fine. This is fine. Go swimming.
And then she just shoved the lawnmower into the pool at you guys.
No. She finished. It was a small patch of grass in their
Yeah.
backyard. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, Spitz, do you want to try? And he's just like, no, because she'll hit me too. But we were.
I'm surprised Spitz didn't go, what? You want to try help her mowing the lawn? Someone's mowing the lawn?
Honestly, that I was expecting that from him too. But
Sorry, I was looking at that cloud. It's interesting.
man, one day.
The college adventure Spitzer is going to go on is going to let me live vicariously.
Oh yes, it's gonna be FaceTime me, please.
Yeah, but
You're my only hope. But anywhozer, what the fuck was I going with this?
I
The
don't know.
housing. What would my splooge be?
yeah,
I don't know. I
More
always,
podcast stuff.
Yeah,
buy us a studio, bitch.
yeah. Honestly, it would probably be this, and I'm hoping this just is my full time job.
You have to be like a multi-million-dollar backed podcast, but we still only have 50 listeners.
Oh boy.
Do you know? That's fine.
Honestly, yeah, you got your base.
Macy's works off of an entirely different company making them money, and that's how they stay
Pretty
in
much.
business.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like you don't need a lot of people to like you. You just need the right ones. But if more of you want to like us, I'm not going to say no.
But hey, you listening to us right now?
Te quiero mucho.
I don't know you, so I'm not going to say anything
You might know them.
too
though.
committal, huh?
You
You
might
do.
know them.
At least some of them.
If I do know you,
Hugs and kisses.
I probably don't remember your name.
Shut up, Tommy. Anyway, the fuck was I doing? Oh,
You were saying goodnight.
yes, this is what I was doing.
Oh, we're going to
damn
bed?
Yes, this is the end.
Is this when we all
Thank
go into
you.
our Dude Loft giant king-size bed that we all share?
We all go to our Dude Loft beds and we take a Dude Loft nap.
We eat our Dude Loft porridge and we kill Dude Loft Goldilocks whenever she eats our porridge. Stupid bitch.
Is this the Grinch version of our episode? Ooh.
That bitch broke into their house. She broke into their fucking home and then acted like,
She owned the place.
yeah,
Yeah.
you break into my house, I'm killing your ass. Those bears
Holes.
were well within their rights.
honestly,
Do you think they have constitutional carry in the
All right,
force?
we need to stop.
Oh
this.
my God. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Please follow us on Dude Loft MTN on Instagram, Twitter, Good Pods. What else are we on?
What if we
TikTok? We're also on TikTok.
get Dude Loft Mountain Dew made?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
What made?
Dude Loft Mountain Dew. Because we spell our Twitter name MTN, which is on their cans now.
We'd have to
MTN
make
Dew.
it like blue or red. Well, no, we can't do
No,
red
because they do
already have
code red. Yeah. You'd have to do like
They have a
like
blue.
raspberry or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love raspberry shit.
All right, we're gonna make this happen.
Oh, Mountain Dew, hit us up.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We have some calls to make. Thank you.